I will tell you that for most people, you do not have a good enough shelter in place plan for a wildfire. And I'm thinking, man, if I lived there, those horses would have been gone 40 minutes ago, or 2 hours ago, or yesterday, or maybe 3 days ago, depending upon the threat. If I'm having to wait until the helicopters are dropping water close to my facility, that is way too late. Okay. It's telling you you are past time to leave. If you were going to shelter in place at your place, have you sat down with someone and really worked through your plan and said, is it possible that we could put our horses out there in that arena and feed them for a couple of days and we can keep the fire away from our place in a safe manner? Do we have a way to add water, right? Do we have pumps? Do we have pumps that work on our generators? Do we have enough water? Do we have all those things to be able to fight the fire on our property ourselves? Or do we have high ground that is such high ground that in the case of a flood, we could shelter in place and we don't have to worry about getting out for anything, right? And so I will tell you that for most people, you do not have a good enough shelter in place plan for a wildfire. If you actually look at some of these videos that have been all over social media of what actual wildfires look like, I can't imagine trying to fight that kind of fire on my own, right? So for wildfire, it's hard to do shelter in place. When you start talking about the kind of wildfires that we're seeing now with climate change, where flames are 75 feet in the air and they're moving 20, 30, 40 miles an hour, that's a sobering thing. It may change your mind about how you think you can shelter in place. Evacuation is what most people are going to do. Is the truck hitched? Do you have food, hay, all the things, the meds? Do you have all your paperwork to be able to prove this is my horse? And your valuables. What I tell people, if you evacuate, and this doesn't sound nice, but after talking to enough people that have had to do this, when you leave, you should take everything that is truly valuable to you. If it's your mama's ashes, if it's your grandmother's books, if it's whatever it is, if it's I got to have underwear because I want to I want to be able to change my underwear 3 times a day, whatever it is, you better have it in there. Because when I talk to people that have actually done these kind of things and they say, hey, we came back and there was nothing left, they said, I wish I would have taken this or that. So take the valuables that you really want to take. If you can fit them into your trailer, you need to have go bags. Those things need to be packed on a regular basis. You need to go through them. They need to be grab and go. The go bag is not something you're packing at the last minute. It's grab it, go, and get in the truck and let's go. And all the people that are in your family or your circle of love need to know where you're going to go, what shelter you're going to go to. They need to coordinate ahead of you. Is once the phones go out, if your cell phone goes out, how are you going to communicate with them? Do they know where you're going to go? Do they know where you're planning to go? And then, of course, paper maps. I know everybody uses, I travel around the world. People pick me up and it's amazing. They use Google and Waze and all these things all the time. And I'm like, do you guys have any idea how to get home to your house if you didn't have, they use Google to get home. And I'm like, really? So get a paper map. You better have those routes reconned and you better have some backup plans. If you're in a one-way out or only two-way out place, you better know what those routes are to be able to get to where you're going, right? And then, of course, I always talk about horses that are trained to catch, lead, load. Will they actually get in the trailer? That's a really important thing. So how do you do shelter in place? And when do you say, hey, I'm going to have to evacuate because I'm not going to be able to shelter in place? But when you get into the high risk levels of air quality index, you're talking, you can barely breathe. We've got that all over the US right now from all these fires in both Canada and the US, right? And you're not going to be out there riding your horse. You're not going to be able to breathe very well. Being outside in this kind of stuff is awful. And your horse doesn't have a mask. So where are you going to evacuate? And am I just going to leave into my county? When I start looking at some of these wildfires, I'd be thinking, I'm going to go to another state. I may go south 500 miles. I may go north 500 miles, right? Because I don't want my horses to be exposed to that. That's a long thing. So why are you waiting to evacuate until the fire gets to you? You've been affected by the smoke for days.